All right, guys. We've got an action-packed PvT series for you all, straight from the WardiTV Summer Championship. We've got Signstorm Gaming's MaxPax and his opponent in the top right, Byun. These two have had a wild rivalry over the last few months, and the reason is they're both online kings. MaxPax because, well, he's never shown his face at LAN. We don't know why. We've just talked about this in Twitch chat before casting it, and I believe he's a bubble boy. I believe he has a compromised immune system and lives in a bubble. I have no reason to think this. I just made it up. But, you know, I have instincts about these things. Other people have suggested that he's Danish royalty, and so he can't be traveling to events and associating himself with such lowly pursuits as StarCraft. Others have said he's an axe murderer. You know, has some other weird reason. I honestly just think he just doesn't want to go out there and get infections from all the dirty StarCraft players. Byun, of course, representing Shopify Rebellion in the top right, is an online god. A man who has had famous pain issues in his wrists, debilitating. Now, a lot of people have said, you know, it's a shame to see him losing his body and his health and throwing it away just for a video game and a career that's, in the grand scheme of a human lifetime of, you know, 80 years or whatever, it's going to be short-lived. But what a lot of people don't realize is they haven't actually heard Byun talk in interviews about how that's not the case. He doesn't feel that pain when he's playing on his own setup at home, online, when he's comfortable. When he goes to big LAN tournaments, he's plagued by it because he gets very nervous, very excited. And he is one of the greatest performing players of all time to be. I would suggest that he's an adrenaline junkie. I would suggest that, similar to myself, unlike the very calm, controlled play of a Maru or a Serral, I feel like when I look at Byun play, he's a man who has got adrenaline flowing through his veins, and yet that's normally a bad thing because it's very hard to play at a high speed and adapt to things, but somehow Byun makes it work. On the other hand, it does mean he tenses up way too much with all that adrenaline pumping through his body, and as a result, he does get big pain issues at LAN. But when he's playing online like this tournament, he doesn't have any of those problems, and he's been giving MaxPax a lot of troubles in the last few months. Look at this Marine Micro. The mineral line is a very nice place for you to hang out. Already wasting a lot of mining time, and he did see the second gateway. Oh, if he sees the robo as well, that would be amazing. But no, the probes do arrest him. So this is actually a 2-gate warp prism opening. Interesting. Is he just going to do a triple adept pressure? I think he's just going to do a 3 adept pressure. So 3 adepts can one-shot SCVs. He knows that Byun does this build every single game on this map. He always goes Marine Scouts, the gold base, goes for the reactor, and he builds his command center on the in-base. He does this every single time, so you know you've got an easy drop path. 2 adepts coming in. You'll probably siege up and warp in 1 more adept on the watchtower, or he could even drop in and warp a 3rd adept into the base as well. Probe does come out to that watchtower as well. Very important to keep that map vision going. Now, the third theory is getting pointed out by Twitch chat. They're pointing out that I've missed one of the most important ones, which is actually that MaxPax hasn't yet found a human host willing to load him into a USB drive and bring him to tournaments to play live. Apparently he's an AI is the latest theory that I forgot about. Sorry about that, guys. The drop comes in, picks off some units, but overall good defense, just 2 Marines. Has lost 2 adepts so far this game, of course. I think the Widowmine killed 1 earlier. Yeah, it did kill 1, which I missed on the ramp. Sorry about that, guys. Widowmine drop gets a bit of missed mining time, but not much else. He's going to burrow, picks up the unburrow micro. Oh, good micro there, and well worth killing a Stalker for that Widowmine, especially if you can keep it alive. A little bit sloppy on the pickup there for a moment, but there we go. Even gets another probe, and oh, get out of there, Byun. Byun is getting sieged back at home. It's not a lot of firepower though, so this sort of pressure from MaxPax, I mean, it's awesome if he micros it for a long time and keeps it alive, but it's very low impact, and oh no, not the famous Maxi Taxi. Oh, the famous Maxi Taxi flies his warp prism into a terrible situation. And, but he does get the medevac with the Stalker. Byun leaving that in an exposed position, so both players taking some damage here. It does feel like Byun comes out on top as he's got a Raven out, which can now harass. He's going to go across that map. Doesn't want to fly it through the watchtower, of course. And hopefully dodges these Stalkers. He's also got the 2nd barracks up, +1 attack on the way, and no doubt a 3rd barracks will be soon to follow as well. Behind this, it is a Forge, so very delayed blink into Forge, into 4 gateways for MaxPax. He's trying to just work his way forwards from this very oddball situation. Oh, look at that! Doesn't even end up spending the energy, just flies through and intimidates the probe off the mineral line. The Raven doing very well there. Stalkers will get some damage on it though. He's going to have to throw that down now, and does focus down. 1 probe, 2 probe. MaxPax not pulling off gas there, and Byun with some very good micro. Oh, he even gets the 4th one. Great micro by Byun. Looks like MaxPax did pick off a depot at the same time on the other side of the map, harassing, being annoying. But I do worry about how he's ever going to defend that third base, MaxPax. How is he ever going to defend that when the stim push comes? Auto turret comes in again. Now the Raven is going to have to fly home, I think. Yeah, there we go. Look at this focus fire from Byun, though. Gets one. Oh, my lord. Oh, that's a lot of kills, man. 8 kills in total. Cyclone's still ready to push this back. This feels so good for Byun. And MaxPax is going into charge. No splash damage. I mean, oh, this is a disaster. 4-gate charge? What's he going to do? Oh, he does get the Raven. Okay, that's a really good catch there. Catches the Raven. But he's down in workers significantly. I mean, there's a big delay on the upgrades at least. Oh, you know he wants to scan that observer, does Byun, but no. Actually, he didn't see it. He has plenty of energy right now. Drops 2 mules. He's still got so much energy. Byun's really messed up his macro, guys. I mean, he did really good harass, but to have 150 energy almost sitting on an orbital is not great. He does scan and kill the observer there. Sorry, I missed that for a moment. And this blink harass, he's got to get some damage done, but that's a lot of Marines. The Cyclone will fall almost instantly. Oh, good Warp Prism pickups, though. And the Prism needs to get out. Oh, my God. Blink away, blink away. Oh, he's not losing any Stalkers. He's not losing any Stalkers. Holy crap. I think all those Stalkers died earlier in the game, guys. He just killed a Cyclone and like 10 Marines, 2 SCVs. That was a beautiful... Whoa! Sorry, guys. Accidental instant rewind there. Obviously, our cousins are a replay. Rewinded 10 seconds. I thought we were going to be watching in a different overlay, so I was trying to show the battle report. Apparently, this was not cast on the battle report overlay. My bad, guys. Obviously, or not overlay, but the custom mod that does come in there. 8 Marine drops going to pick up and pull back. Byun's known for having crazy dangerous drops. Like, he's known for just flying over Blink Stalkers regularly. It's one of his famous moves, which throws away games, but also wins him games when he barely skims by them, gets the drop past, and does good damage with a sort of dangerous drop, which no other Terran would dare do. Siege tanks in the back. I mean, if he blinks in there again, I mean, that would be a silly move for MaxPax. There's no reason to blink in there. Oh, don't do it. Don't do it, please. 2 siege tanks will make quick work of you, buddy. Third base does land for Byun. Byun is still far ahead, but he's giving MaxPax a lot of time. It's definitely the time for him to push. I mean, if Byun doesn't go right now, he's going to let his opponent get into Colossus. So he's got to push sometime the next minute. He stims forward here. Good micro by MaxPax. Picks off just a Marine. Baits a stim, gets out. He sees the Robo Bay, an extra gas, and a Forge upgrading. I mean, these are all signs of MaxPax heading to that longer game. He's only got a single Robo, so it's still not the quickest transition. But definitely time for Byun to start getting something done. Ooh, Widowmine's clean up 2 of the Zealots in the run by. The drop in the south does need to pick up, but of course he's busy dropping in the north. So that drop does get taken out. The Zealot in his natural is causing him a bit of problems. MaxPax just making him multitask. So 3 SCVs go down to the Zealot before that gets cleaned up. This drop in the main, it's good, but it looks like there's enough Zealot Stalker to defend it. Yeah, already a bit overstimmed as Byun. 2 Marauders get picked off. He's going to have to pick up and boost out, and only 2 Marines survived in the bottom for him, unfortunately. Prism is on the other side of the map, still on red hit points. +2, +1 upgrades against just +2 on the way. First Colossus is building. Still no Colossus range on the way. MaxPax is very good at surviving in games, but we do have to question if... Oh, very good catch. We do have to question if Byun's letting him survive more than he should. On the other hand, I keep saying that. Is one Colossus really going to change that much against a hefty, well-upgraded Marauder army? It's like, it is just a single Colossus for now. Second Robo, second Forge is on the way. I think Byun's doing a good job of exerting pressure. You know, as long as he's out of the map like this, MaxPax has to play a little bit careful, and picking up the odd Zealot here or there on the map is really effective. Equal workers on both sides, and Byun's going to go for a 4th command center. I feel like he should just build that on location. It's just as exposed as this. More likely to find some value, though. Oh, interesting little move. The Zealot Stalker's coming in with a flank, trying to get this around, but he just goes back to the high ground. And he's like, hey, you thought you trapped me. All you did was put yourself out of position. This army has good force fields, but not that much else going for it. The Colossus, only a single one is there. Scans to see if there's an observer. Oh, he gets the sentries! He gets both sentries. That's a good pick off there. The Stalkers blink forward. I don't know about that move for MaxPax. No battery up right now. The drop in the back picks up and gets out of there, and just abusing this positioning. Byun looking fantastic. I thought he might have waited too long. He says, I waited the perfect amount of time. Look at the way he's picking MaxPax apart. He's just going to stand his ground and click on this Colossus. Wait, it isn't even a Colossus recalling. The Bio Army could have pulled back a little bit more there. A bit dicey from him. The Widowmines do get some decent shots off, but all those Zealots go down. The triple drop comes in here. And that Colossus is in the open. MaxPax, though, he's got Stalkers and Zealots in support. He holds on for now, but for how long? A single Zealot, 2 Stalkers and a Colossus trying to defend. He's going to need a lot more Zealots where that came from. Oh, Big Daddy Colossus gets sniped. And those Widow Mines getting ready to recharge. Oh, no, no, no. MaxPax so distracted in the top. Those Widow Mines at the bottom are definitely going to recharge and fire again. Another Colossus in the open. Oh, no. That is a disaster. The Dreamer, MaxPax getting back in this series. Snuffed out just like that. And, oh, okay, the Widow Mines do try to unburrow and move forward, and that was a mistake. They do get taken down. Of course, cannons were about to finish near them, so understandable decision. Byun is still way ahead. And notice, guys, there is one thing which is very predictable about Byun, and that is that he will only build Vikings very late in the game. So we have seen Byun lose games where the opponent gets up Colossus, and they go like 4-5 Colossus. I remember Creator did this for a while versus him. And he just like, Byun was like, I refuse to build Vikings until I'm maxed on Bio, Ghost, 5 command centers, and all this sort of stuff. He is very slow to go for the second starport because he has faith in EMP, Marauders, Widow Mines, and just having enough Bio to kind of spread his opponent out. It's not a bad way of playing, but if the Protoss is aware of this, they can definitely go heavy into the Colossus and add a few Disruptors in there as well, and it can really make things difficult for him. MaxPax trying to get in front of this army. Remember, the upgrades are in favor of the Terran, and he's got way more on the way. You can see this is a tough situation. 2 more Colossus are about to come out. They're not here yet, though. Oh, man, that EMP is vicious. The Zealots, okay. Oh, a few Widow Mines go down. Luckily, the Observer survives, so that's good for MaxPax. I mean, I think Byun should keep multi-pushing. I think that's how he's been winning this game. He really should keep doing it. MaxPax trying to spot his army. I think Byun is definitely hungry to pick some units up and drop them in the main. He just hasn't done it just yet. Here we go. Going to come down and fight. This is MaxPax, and you can see Byun was trying to spread his army out a little bit, but I think he still has too many Marines and Marauders potentially. The Marines on the left getting gunned down by the Colossus. Oh no! Bit of a sloppy fight here for Byun. Wow, MaxPax taking about the best fight he possibly could. Despite that, though, a Colossus still goes down to the Marauders. The Stalkers start to fall. And I mean, there's just no meat to go with his potatoes. His potato Colossus going to try and start a step backwards. There's just too much Terran. Byun is way too far ahead. After, of course, finding some good damage in the early game. I feel like the single Marine picking off the Adept with the Widow Mine harassment, just delaying mining so much, and the Warp Prism not able to do as much as it wanted to. It's given Byun a lot of room to breathe, and even more value getting picked up down here. Shield Battery, 3 pylons, that's 400 minerals alone, another 400 minerals, and 150 minerals for the cannon, so basically 1,000 minerals down the drain with this base getting cleaned up. Prism is on the other side. He's thinking about doing some Zealot run-bys. If he could hit the Reinforce, that'd be all right. 3-1 upgrades are done for the Protoss player, but 3 Colossus out, 2 more on the way. He's trying to do that mass Colossus style, and there's not that many Vikings, but of course, Byun just has unlimited Marauders. I'm amazed by MaxPax's ability to survive. I don't think he could do it on any other map, but Stargazers, it is hard to attack this bottom side. Ever since Byun stopped dropping the top, it feels like he's had a harder time finishing this game off. Battery Overcharge is a pretty spectacular ability as well. So I feel like Byun was winning the game until he stopped dropping the main. Because the thing is, as long as the Colossus can all group up in one big fight, they do really, really well. But I feel like, you know, it's kind of obvious at this point that it's like, come on, Byun. You were splitting the army and crushing it. Keep splitting the army. Just send a double drop or a triple drop into the main, and then keep attacking the south. And watch MaxPax have to cover multiple areas. You know, if he's pulling into a choke point with cannon battery overcharge, he looks like he could take a good fight. But if you force him into the open, like, what's he going to do? He's either going to get surrounded, or he's just not going to be able to cover all the angles, because he's only got 11 Stalkers, 6 Zealots. Units which get crushed by Bio in an open fight. So Byun here, though, he's trying to push on the front, and he does like to do this as his army gets bigger, and he's pretty good at doing it. So as much as I'm like, oh, keep dropping, I've seen him finish many games like this before. See, now he goes and does it. It feels like this would have happened much easier. I mean, MaxPax sees the scan. He's got to know that he's dropping to the north. So he's going to try and jump on this army to the south and then use Recall to reposition. Byun being a little bit too obvious with this maneuver, but I don't know if MaxPax has the tools to really punish it. 2 Disruptors moving up here. That's not going to be enough. Colossus Stalker moving down there. The Disruptors looking for the surprise hits. Oh no, MaxPax stumbles into his army. Of course, he's watching the south, but the Viking Marauder is just too much. He can't even take out half of Byun's army. So he knows he's done. Byun takes map 1. Convincing map on Stargazers. Alright. All right, guys. Nice game one there. But to be fair, the last time I saw Byun lose that map was a while ago. We're on Waterfall, though. I would say... I mean, this must be... Oh, damn. This must be... MaxPax must have picked Stargazers in that last game. A terrible choice versus Byun, in my opinion. Byun is so confident on that last map. Maybe the Warp Prism build has worked better in different scenarios for MaxPax. Obviously, the opening didn't go great for him, but Byun... I'm pretty sure would have picked Waterfall here, because this is a very short rush distance, not a good map for Protoss. And Stargazers does have a long rush distance, but we saw how the multi-prong picked MaxPax apart, and that's been the experience that I've seen Byun do to all the Protoss players. He has an insane win rate in tournaments on that map. So to pick Stargazers for Byun, I think is a huge mistake that MaxPax made, perhaps not realizing just how good he is there, and definitely going to cause him some problems. Now, SCV is going to go for the engineering bay block. Notice how he went around the side of the map to dodge the standard gateway probe scout timing. And he gets that E-base started, and MaxPax is not checking for it. Ooh, oh, damn. Okay. So I think MaxPax is probably going to take a third base when he's going to... Oh, my God. Okay, so he's going Cybercore, and that probe's going to go to take the Nexus. Let's go to MaxPax Vision and see how he reacts, guys. He comes in, he's like, oh, yeah, it's a standard build. And, oh no, yeah, immediately goes to his third base with that probe. He's going to take the front third. Okay, interesting. So he's reacted very quickly. He's building a Zealot. Hasn't started the pylon just yet. There we go. He's going to build it out here. Now, that means the engineering bay will get cancelled for Byun. Once you've seen the third, you should cancel that engineering bay immediately. Odd that Byun hasn't done that yet. He cancels it now. Big delay on the command center, completely unnecessary for Byun. So I gotta say that command center could have been down 15, 20 seconds ago. Bit of a mistake for him. It's still a good build, of course, overall, but no add-on. He wants to go factory reactor by the looks of it. Okay, all right, interesting. I mean, this does really mess up MaxPax opening, so it's definitely a good start for him. He does take one taser hit from the probe. Zealot's trying to run around. Now, of course, he doesn't know that the command center's on the high ground, so he's kind of just blocked from really doing any damage. Stalker's going to come down. Shield battery in the main. You already have to build. Your Nexus is delayed. You have to build a battery to help be safe. It's a really sucky position to be in as the Protoss player. The Stalker could do some damage, though, because this reactor is so darned late. Oh, that probe's going to go down, though. Yeah, sending the Stalker across the map ain't free, man. Stalker's going to come out to that base by the looks of it, but of course the Reaper does come in. Zealot's starting to work on this. You want to keep that fully repaired because that Stalker's about to be here. Ooh, this is a bit of a mistake right now, I think. Reaper will go back to the low ground. He could target the battery and try to focus that down. SCV's trying to repair, but you don't want to be losing these. Oh, notice how the Stalker changed targets there. Byun, he's got Marines in a Widow Mine on the way, but he's going to lose at least 2 SCVs, so a bit of a costly exchange here, especially with more Stalkers arriving. Oh, man. Okay, okay. The Marine's taking damage. Now, he's got to make sure he doesn't fire on the Zealot. Unburrow, unburrow. Oh, that's a big mistake for Byun. Big mistake for Byun. You do not want to waste it on that. The Reaper is going to start working on those probes down there. But, oh, my God, he's going to take a lot of damage here. He's trying to pull SCVs to fight this, but MaxPax microing very well. He's already taken out 5 SCVs. He's trying to get the Marines, but finally 2 more Marines come out with that firepower. He's all right. The Reaper probably needs to just get out of here. Gets in, sees the Twilight Council. Probe was kind of blocking him from running in. If the Reaper can escape, that would be very effective for Byun at this stage. Just keep it alive as a scout for the future. But losing those 5 SCVs gets MaxPax right back into this game. And definitely a big oversight for Byun to let that happen. Now these Stalkers are like, the Reaper's probably escaped. Robo's on the way, so it's 1 gate blink Robo. There is a siege tank on the way. Byun's going to do a big Marine siege tank push in this game. We'll see exactly what he brings out, because that's usually a good build, but having the 5 SCVs killed, it's massively delayed these tanks. On the other hand, MaxPax build is still awkward in terms of he's going up to 2nd and 3rd gateway now, but starting that so very late. Oh, he loses a Stalker to the Widow Mine. And if Byun can repair that, that would be great, but no, he's going to lose that. The probe was actually meant to take the Widow Mine hit. It arrived a little bit late. Reaper's going to go back in and try to see if there's a 3rd base or not. Siege tank, another one starts up as well as a medevac. Byun, no 2nd barracks. He is a bit supply blocked right now, but only momentarily. Just delaying a few Marines on coming on out. And of course, no real scouting for MaxPax to be spoken of. Reaper runs in, damages a probe, and does try to pull on back. He should see that Nexus go down. but there we go. Goes down in vision. A Stalker does get taken out at the same time. The other one barely escaping. Good catch for Byun, but his Reaper has fallen at the same time. So it's just 3-gate Blink up against a 2-tank Marine push. Now, this is a push that can absolutely get dismantled by really well microed Stalkers with battery overcharge, but that shield battery is pretty far back, so if he can get his tanks in a nice position, he could do pretty well. He's trying to build another one, his MaxPax. It's a scary push. He's got to start picking off these Marines as fast as possible. The tanks have really good range, 7 range here, but you can see, of course, yeah, pulling back the weak Marines. Nicely done by MaxPax. No SCVs with this push. I'm surprised he didn't bring SCVs. Just 2 SCVs to repair the tanks is such a game changer. Oh, is he going too far forward? Byun is going to try and just hammer through. Wait, there's no battery overcharge available. Oh no! He doesn't have energy for battery overcharge! MaxPax! The Robo gets depowered! The Immortal's so close to finishing. He will have another pylon finishing. He needs that Immortal really bad. The Marines and the Siege Tanks doing what they can, but it looks like the Immortal will come out just barely. Robo does go down. That Immortal, though, is going to come forward. The Marines... Oh, the Stalker's blinking forward. The Marines are kind of trying to block them. He's just going to focus down as many Stalkers as he can and then maybe pick up the medevac and get out of there was the goal. But the Stalker's shooting that does make a big difference. Oh, get out of there, Siege Tank! Get out of there! Oh, the Immortal survives, as does the Siege Tank. A crazy situation. He's now got battery overcharge, so he can heal up as needed. Byun needs to save the units. Uh-oh. Oh, he should have got out of there. Does at least get 2 Stalkers. Goes after the Immortal, though, but MaxPax Micro is too good. And Byun, if he picked up and saved the tank and ran away when he had the chance, that might have worked out. But as it is, he's now got a 3rd command center, a 2nd and 3rd barracks up, a 4th and 5th barracks going down. Really haphazard macro behind this for Byun. He's kind of just doing a bit of everything at once. Oh, which tech labs do I use? Which add-ons do I use? I still think he's in a pretty good position because MaxPax has just been hamstrung by that positioning. He lost the Robo as well. So he's going up to, what is it, rebuilding a Robo, 7-gate charge. I mean, it's not a bad spot, but yeah. Oh, wow, very... Oh, Byun needs to move those Marines forward right now. He can't lose this. He cannot lose this command center. Okay, woof. I mean, if he lost that command center, that would have been not good for him. Oh, good scan, gets the Observer. Putting MaxPax in the dark. MaxPax Robo died. He knows that. So killing the Observer is just super annoying. Has to spend 75 gas and rebuild that. He's going to go Templar Archives now. So it makes us think this is probably Psystorm. He's going to 4 gas. Could just be pure Zealot Archon as well. 60 probes versus 54 SCVs. The moment Byun gets that 3rd landed, he's going to be feeling a bit better about his position. He's already got an extra tech lab and reactor building on the barracks. Siege tanks are moving forward. He doesn't know those units are there. But with the Siege tanks getting such good coverage, he should be in a good spot. I'd like to see that tank and that tank move forward as well. Could easily creep out to this 3rd base. Likewise, with Stim Shields +1 finishing, if he can sneak a Marine drop out the side of the map, I mean, there's only a few Stalkers and an Immortal for control. Other than that, it's just Zealots. Very few anti-air units on the map. MaxPax is thinking about a 4th base, and it looks like just mass Zealot Archon Immortal 4 base. Psystorm does start up as I say that. Byun gets another Observer, putting MaxPax in the dark. Look at his vision. He's got nothing on this right side of the map. He doesn't have anything other than a 4 Stalker squad up front. And as Combat Shields finishes in a moment, they're no longer enough to one-shot on a Combat Shield Marine. I do like the Zealot flank getting set up. I think these guys are a little bit exposed. Need to probably pull back to these sentries. High Templar starting to gather energy, though, which is really good. Sees the army come forward, does MaxPax. He's got to react. A little bit slow there. Does lose 1 Stalker. That Immortal still just sticking out like a sore thumb. He's forgotten about it. And that's a bummer. That's a free Immortal kill for Byun. Zealot run by does come in there. Catches a Marauder, but kind of stumbles into the army with most of those Zealots. 1 Zealot in the 3rd doing very well. And that's a Phoenix, not a Warp Prism in the main base. The SCV is going to take him on. They say, get drilled, son! And he can't take all of them at once. Here we go. Storm's not ready yet. Great push for Byun. Oh, he's going to have to give up on this 4th base. Byun just has complete control over this game. Unless there are astronomical storms, this should be a win for Byun, especially... Oh, he hasn't lowered his depots, though. His SCVs are stuck. He's not rallying forwards. He's got to reinforce this push. Those storms could be big. Where's the Psystorm? Oh, big storms on the Marines. The Zealots are going to clean this up. Remember, there's no reinforce. A full energy high tempo. Not full energy, but one with storm. Does go down on that side. Cleans up all the tanks, most of the Marines. He did lose his 4th base, did MaxPax, but imagine if Byun had these units rallying in. I think he could have just continued the fight there. As it is, now Byun has to pull back. He's trying to build his factory onto a reactor and swap into that. He's got 6 idle SCVs. As I said, haphazard macro for Byun in this game. It's all a little bit over the shop. It's kind of like weird and messy and scrappy. Ever since that early Marine tank push did some great damage, but wasn't quite able to finish it. Now we've got a Storm Drop, a Packer Zealot Archon. You got to pre-spread your units here, get some Marauders out front of the tanks would be the best way to do it. MaxPax is going to go for the kill, and this is a very powerful move because if you pull SCVs, they're going to get stormed and killed by Archon Zealot, but usually it's those units that keep you alive in this scenario. Good scan for Byun. MaxPax shows his army. He's got to go. Byun clumping up right now. Dangerously clumping up is Byun. Oh, watch out for the Psy Storms, buddy. He's got units coming in from the left, but he didn't quite get his EMPs in time. Oh no, his Bio and SCVs getting slaughtered by Psy Storm. This was such a good position for Byun, but if that Zealot warp in completes, and it does, then oh no, Byun getting smashed through. I can't believe it. That game was such a mess for MaxPax from the start, having to take a third base on Waterfall, but he did get some great damage with the Stalker counter pressure, messed up Byun's economy, and the game got weird from there. MaxPax navigates his way out of the dark and ties up the series. All right, well, I gotta say, guys, we're going into Moondance. MaxPax has some of the weirdest map picks I've ever seen. This is a great map for Terran vs Protoss. I can't believe, has MaxPax picked Waterfall, or did he pick Stargazers and Moondance? Because absolutely bizarre. Like, what in the hell are you doing, MaxPax? Representing Psystorm Gaming, I mean, he won that last game. He really pulled a rabbit out of the hat for it. But yeah, I think Byun right now is like, wow, I get 3 Terran maps in a row. This is, thank you. He's like, I appreciate it. Like, could we just, yeah, maybe we just run these 3 maps back again if the series keeps going, so we don't have to play a single Protoss map. Obviously, Stargazers is debatable. I'm sure there's Protoss players out there who are like, no, it's good for a Protoss. I'm sure there's Terrans will say it's bad for them, but I definitely think Moondance is, having a free third in the back for Terran is incredible. And there's so many drop angles on this map where drops and Widow Mines and stuff can be effective, so I see that combined with the very short frontal rush distance and some amazing tank positions. You know, this base, you can get some nice tanks up there and so on. It does feel like a good Terran map, but we'll see. MaxPax might prove me completely wrong. Love to hear if anyone disagrees and why. Nexus does go down post Cybercore, so he's both scouting after gate and going core before Nexus. Very safe play, especially against a Byun that's not super Reaper favored. He goes Marine first game 1 and game 3. He only went Reaper in the last one. Oh, hanging out a bit too long there. Bit too greedy, MaxPax. Bit too greedy. Does lose his probe. Definitely favor the efficiency of Byun's opening. He's going Tech Lab. Oh, okay, guys. So he's going to do a Marauder, probably 2-on-1, I would imagine. So he's going to do a 2 Marauder with concussive pressure here. It's a cute opening. Historically, I used to hate it. I used to feel like it just, like, if the Protoss just builds an Oracle or gets a Shield Battery and a Stalker, they do really well versus it. In this scenario, though, definitely going to be a Twilight opening, which is probably the better scenario for the Protoss, for the Terran player. Yeah, if they're happening to go Oracle, like, you just straight up lose as Byun, don't you? Pretty sure you do. There we go. He's going to go Factory, actually. Okay. Okay, so it's 2 Marauders into Factory. Interesting. Now, the Adept is going to see this coming, and I mean, at least it shuts down any pressure the Adept can do, and it should force a battery, but, you know, MaxPax might be kind of greedy and even cut the Shield Battery out of the build. Let's see what he does. He's going to have to shade backwards right now. Concussive. Oh, kicks in. Okay, he's going to focus the Marine down and try to shade out of there, but I think he's dead. Just barely. She doesn't shade back in time, and of course her sister's going to run home. Still no Stalker on the way. He cancels the Stalker? What? He's like, nah, 1 Adept, 1 Battery can defend this. I guess that's fine. I mean, it'll take forever to kill the Marauders. The Marauders could run past and try to focus probes, but I guess he can just pull probes and rely on the battery being quick enough. So fair enough. And he's going DT Shrine. Oh, that's a snap judgment call. I've often talked over the last few years about how MaxPax has one of the best Dark Templar brains in all of StarCraft. He is so clever at knowing when DTs will be good, and he realizes that with this sort of build order, Byun's got to cut a lot of corners, and very commonly will be going 2-on-1 afterwards, a build which will not have a Raven. So he thinks DT is going to work really nicely. Now, if there's no battery overcharge, that's going to cause problems. Nice micro for Byun. This is the stuff I wish I could do, but Byun doing a great job. Battery overcharge needs to go down. Oh my lord, he left that very late. The Adept almost falls. And of course, the Marauders still just hanging out. They should have left by now, otherwise he's going to lose them. So yeah, it's a big mistake for Byun to hang around this long. Oh, he did actually tag the Stalker, but if that Stalker gets back to the battery, it's all okay. And it will get in range, just barely, but actually it's out of energy. Oh, good play by Byun. He gets it. Might even get a probe. Prism pickup, prism pickup, prism pickup. Ah, it's okay. The probes do take it down with the Adept. What a bizarre little opening there. We've got a medevac on the way, a factory, bunch of Marines, Stim. So he's going to go for a Widow Mine drop while defending with the Marines and Stim. But MaxPax is going to make Dark Templar, and it's going to be game over? Supply blocked, but the pylon finishes as he goes. DT's warping in the front. 2 DTs so far. He could warp in a third one in a moment if he wants to. And it looks like he does start Blink instead of that. He's going to start attacking straight away. Should normally get up inside the main before you do that, but he says, no, that's fine. Scan goes down. That DT will fall very quickly. He's going to go warp in another one up there. Already 4 SCVs in mining time. Very big damage. Prism is going to go into the main and warp in DTs, but first of all, he's got to deal with the Widow Mine drop. Uh-oh, he's looking at his DTs. MaxPax! Oh, no! Oh, no, 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 no! 12 probes going down! Another scan comes in, cleans up the DT in the natural, but that does mean there's a DT in the main on the loose. The turret's going to go up, though. That turret will go up. And, oh, the DT stays way too long as well. MaxPax, a disaster here. An absolute disaster. 12 probes go down at home. Funnily enough, he pulls the probes. Byun realizes, wait, the Widow Mines haven't even recharged. Quickly runs away to finish cleaning his musket before returning to battle. Still, though, great damage. Overall, that was, what, 8 SCVs for 13 probes. It should have been a good situation, but he just didn't notice the Widow Mine drop. If he noticed it, it would have been a big overall tempo victory for MaxPax. As it is, he does have a third base up. He still could do very well here. And I think he should actually work his way around the back and keep trying to drop TTs in the back of the bases. But here comes a nice little... Oh, this is such a surprising push. Byun's realizing, hey, you're not going to really have anything right now. If I build a Raven, more Marines, tanks, and stuff, I can build up and defend. But I just think you have no units. You've already lost, was it 4? 3 DTs have gone down. There's 3 Stalkers in the depth. Looks like the Widow Mine drop did just fly in and die, by the way. So MaxPax is like, cool, we're in control of the game. He's about to find out if that battery gets focused down quickly enough. This is potentially game over. Oh my god, look at that. Okay, he should focus the battery. I think he should run in. He's going to siege up in his face. There's just no damage for MaxPax. He's got to go for the battery. He does go for it. The Stalkers and the probes will gun down the tank. Stalkers blinking back, but already 11 probes have fallen. The DTs are going to counterattack at the same time. He's warped one into the back of Byun's base, but Byun just has no firepower, man. He has no firepower. DT runs in the back. It might accidentally go in range of the bunker if MaxPax isn't careful. He's lost 17 more workers. That is an absolute disaster. 18 more workers as the dust settles. He does save his DT on the front, and this DT needs to get so much damage done. He needs to be Shanky McShankface. This guy needs to be Jack the Ripper of SCV's butts out. He needs to wrap their butts around their own head. Sorry. He needs to kill a lot of SCVs. MaxPax is screwed. He needs to kill a lot. I mean, this is good. Getting free SCVs just for micro, just for actions is good. But like, yeah, he's got to do stuff, man. He's going +1 in charge. We're looking. He's got 4 or 5 Stalkers that maybe could pick a few units off. Byun's not that high on the SCVs, so there's an argument for MaxPax dragging his way back into this game. But you've got to be honest and look at it and say, is there really a way he can do that, though? I think Archon Drop's a cute idea because he can shoot with range and kill SCVs. I think he's going to try and drop in the main. Maybe snipe off like Reactor or something like that. So he's going to do a little counter pressure. Probing up behind this is MaxPax. If MaxPax resurrects himself in this game, I will be stunned. I feel like already last game was bad for him. This game also starting off terribly. Gets a Reactor. Very nice. Reactors are always high value. An SCV and a Reactor slows down the command center. I like that the factory immediately just gives its Reactor. That is a good bro. That factory says, bro, take mine. Starport can immediately go back to double medevac production whenever Byun chooses to. Behind this, Colossus Bay is on the way. That's going to be really important. If he can get Colossus out, Disruptors, that'll be big. Looks like 5 more probes going down. Oh, the Raven! The Raven killing 5 probes, forcing lost mining time, and does escape the base. Meanwhile, another push coming through. It's a double drop of Marine Marauder. The Archon's going to go into that main base and have a bit of a splashy splash on the face of these SCVs. Dude, this is a very scary push attacking the front, though, of MaxPax, and he doesn't realize it's coming. He's got an Immortal, a bunch of Stalkers. I think with battery overcharge, he might be fine. He gets 2 more SCVs. His main base, though. Oh, no, that pylon! Artosis! Artosis. All on his lonesome there. Oh, damn. Loses a Cybercore and a Gateway as well. And the Reaper Wall, as nice as it can be, it can also cost you. I don't know if a DT just walked in or what, because it looked like 1 SCV died, but the Raven comes back in as well. dude. 4 more probes going down as well as those buildings. Byun is playing MaxPax like a fiddle. And MaxPax unable to really get his feet underneath him. He's making a Colossus, but no range upgrade. No way to deal with this Raven. It has 2 different bases to choose from. No battery in the back. He's just relying on his own mechanics to pull those probes away as quickly as possible. This is a very tense situation. And here we go. He's going to come forward. Force field could be great on that ramp, but not the best blink. Weird force field there. Picks off a few zealots for Marines and Marauders. Not the worst trade. He's going to go forward one more time. Colossus coming up as well. Byun caught attacking the rocks. Gets a medevac. I like MaxPax moves here. He's also got that Archon on the backside. He's going to warp in a few zealots with that and just run those into that base. He's got more Colossus +2 on the way. Viagra starts up. Always got to save a bit of money for that Viagra. The drop could move into his main, so you see MaxPax is very defensively positioned. Zealots running in. The Archon drops in the main, but the Marines are going to chase it down. Zealots doing some good damage. Attacking the front, not a good move for Byun, I don't think. I mean, the Immortal and the Colossus with the battery are going to do so much, but dude, Byun's like, I have more units than you can count. You don't even have this many fingers, you stupid Dutch boy, Danish boy. Oh, he's got too much stuff. It's just too many Marauders. I feel like MaxPax is doing mad wizard shit to try and turn these games around. He even saved his Archon and then tries to fly it back in, but the Marines are still there. MaxPax doing awesome stuff to try to get back in the game, but Byun is just on fire, and these map picks are not doing MaxPax any favors. All right, let's get into game number 4. Up 2-1, going into Inside Out. Yet another map which I feel is pretty good for Terran. Where's Tropical Sacrifice? What the hell? Why aren't you playing Tropical? Even Data, I think, is not too bad. I mean, it's got a bad drop angle in the main for Protoss, but other than that, I think it's better than these maps. So interesting to see these map choices. I do think MaxPax has made some mistakes with it. I obviously realize that's kind of subjective, and it really depends how the builds play out. So anyways, Shopify Rebellions Byun in the top right, MaxPax in the bottom left. MaxPax not scouting this game. I think I like this call to not scout. But interestingly, he's not rallying onto gas other than whatever's right there. And that is a... Is that an 18 Cybercore? Oh, did he go in earlier than normal Gateway? And he's going to go for a 19 Nexus. 18 core, 19 Nexus blind. Ooh, that's going to be an early Adept chrono across this map. Yeah, I do believe so. Looks like a pretty crisp build so far from MaxPax. He's going to go for a pylon on the low ground here. And I would say that's too late normally, but because he's so low on probes, it's actually perfectly fine. Yeah, instantly chronoing an Adept from a minute 50. This is a really crisp build, guys. Ooh, yeah. Okay, we get the second gas on the way. Warp gate as well. Reactor does start up. Factory almost halfway done. The Marine is going to move out. This is the classic Byun no scout and let the Marine be the first thing that sees anything on the map. Absolute savage that he is there. Just no F's given Byun. Byun does not believe in worker scouts. I am honestly surprised that MaxPax hasn't proxy gated him. If I was playing Byun, I would 100% be doing a proxied second gateway and do a Zealot Stalker Adept Rush. I would 100% just be in his face, trying to get damage off one of those really aggro openings. And I might even throw in like a blind 4-gate, you know? Like a 4-gate is actually probably the most underrated build in PvT right now, just because nobody does it. And so because it's not in the rotation of builds, Protoss players have forgotten it exists. Terran players don't play safe against it. It's one of those little things where as a caster, you know, I'm always thinking about unoptimal builds that can get free wins. And the pro players aren't always thinking about that. Oh, that's a good micro for MaxPax. Oh man, if he can get rid of the Hellion, that'd be huge. He's just going for the Marines so far though, knowing they can't get healed till medevacs are out. Oh, he's actually going to dive on the Hellion. Not the best shade, buddy. Oh, if he got one more shot off, he might have been able to get it, but the SCV repair is good. He's going to build a pylon on the front. So guys, this is... I was talking about gateway aggression. He's planning a 3-gate aggression here, but his warp gate did not get as much chrono as it needed. This is like a half-baked parting build from MaxPax, but not being set up nearly as well as the initial parting build. Could do damage, especially, but with the Hellion coming out, he needs to warp in a unit at home. That really weakens his pressure. If this was 3 Stalkers into the Adept, it could kill the Cyclone really quickly, but as it is, even without a bunker, I think Byun might be okay. Starts a depot on time here as well as he's getting close to getting blocked. Hellion should go down pretty easily. Only takes one more Stalker shot. Bit of miss micro from MaxPax. Hellion definitely could get some kills, but he's got to be careful. That Cyclone is out. Get out of here, MaxPax. Run! MaxPax tries to focus down the Cyclone. Oh! Cyclones are very fragile. Oh, but look at that. The medevac there waits. He waits for it. He says, I want to dodge your projectile mid-air. Byun, very nicely done. Didn't lose any probes, did MaxPax. And every Stalker Warping is very dangerous, but he's mass repaired the Cyclone. And once he gets a tank on the high ground here, this is completely shut down. And look at that. Oh, he's going to jump on it. These are slow Stalker Warpings. This is completely shut down. Dude, looks like Byun might just be getting a 3-1 victory here. I mean, Blink is on the way. It's not completely all in by any means, but oh, good Stalker micro. And these units without the Cyclone can't really hunt these down unless he picks up and drops on them. Byun. Nice. Byun, I'm like, if he does this, I'm like, it's Byun. Of course he's going to do the overly fancy maneuver to get an extra Stalker kill. I love it. I love it. Going for Raven tank. So it looks like he'll play a very standard style. 3 racks and an engineering bay will go down as well. So Byun's going to play really stock standard after this. He's almost supply blocked here, but you'll notice he's already got a depot halfway finished, and it hasn't slowed down any unit production yet. So it's going to be a very slight supply block. Oof. Okay, yeah, he's got to be careful. A damaged medevac is very dangerous. Just showing your opponent you have a dropout there can be really effective, but he's like, oh, let's go home now. Oh, but MaxPax. 300 IQ Stalker interception, and he will shut down a medevac with, I think there's 6 Marines in it. Good trade there. That's really important because now MaxPax doesn't need units at home. He can bring everything to the front. And if I was MaxPax in this scenario, you'd say, okay, my opponent knows I'm playing Stalkers and Blink. His name is Byun. So what does Byun do every game? He flies his Raven across the map. The #1 move you can do against Byun when you're playing Blink is catch that Raven on the way across the map. And like, I knew it before he did it. Why? Because Byun is entirely predictable. He's been doing this style for many months now. And the thing is, if you can catch that with like 3 Stalkers on the edge of the map or something, it's very, very effective. Now, obviously, he does randomize his Raven path. It's not as easy as I say. If you're worried about a frontal push, it's scary because, of course, you didn't know what the follow-up is as MaxPax. But now we're going to have to see him react very quickly to those auto turrets. Such an annoying piece of harassment. Behind this, though, Templar Archives is on the way. MaxPax is a little ahead on workers, but overall, economically, I'd say not a great position because the Terran, you know, he's going to have a very nice stim push in about 1.5 minutes that could come across the map. He'll have 2 medevacs, a pack of Marine Marauder, 3 siege tanks, that sort of stuff. And the 3rd command center is going to be finished then as well and landing behind it. So he can both push and have a good army behind it. I think this is the sort of the game where MaxPax's best move will be to play around the lack of information, but Byun already gets 3 worker kills. He's going to drive through the main base, and there's a battery in the main, nothing in the natural though, so the Raven should be able to get out to the dead space on the left and hide there. It does get another couple of workers, so 6 probe kills in total, and the Raven can just wait in the dead space. Such an annoying unit for a non-Stargate player to deal with. He could leave a High Templar in the main and just feedback it next time it comes in, but for now, trying to get Storm or Warp Prism Zealots. So like I said, I don't think MaxPax can take a 4th. I don't think he can go into Colossus. What I think he can do is ambush a move out with Storm drop and shut it down. Or if he can catch a drop, that would also be great. Oh, good Stalker positioning. He sees the drop. Byun will just drop on that, of course. Surprised MaxPax didn't blink that away. Stalkers are going to try and pick this off, but oh no! The medevacs actually abandon the units. MaxPax gets a medevac there! Oh, damn. And look at this. Even going to grab a Marine and then blink away. Oh, nice moves, dude. Hallucination sees 5 racks on the way. I don't know if he saw the 3rd command, and he probably saw it floating out, I would imagine, but maybe missed it. So he might think this is just a giant 2-base play. That being said, 3 High Templar with Psystorm now finished in a Warp Prism. And the thing is, by stopping that drop was really bad for MaxPax, because if that got past, he'd be dealing with a Byun that's multi-prong, dropping auto turrets in the main, dropping the right, pushing the front. Storm is really bad against that. Storm is exceptionally good at engaging one big army, especially if it's a bit too clumped up. He can ambush it. Charge lots get on the tanks, Storm kills all the bio, or at least forces them back. You crush that army, bam, you win the game. If you're getting picked apart on many different angles, this army doesn't work nearly as well because you don't have enough money to really replace Stalkers. If you ever lose a bunch of your Stalkers, you're like having to pick between High Templar, Archons, or Stalkers with your limited gas income. It's an awkward position to be in. Byun is building a sensor tower, and that's very good because that means he's going to see the big storm all incoming, and he should be able to stop it. It's very similar army supply. Now remember, he clumps up a bit too much usually. He needs to get his bio far in front He needs to get his bio out in front of this army. Storm Drop's going to be coming in from that left side. There's a sensor tower here. Just don't clump up too much into the storm. I don't know if he knows there's Psy Storm here. Byun running his army back and forwards in that dangerous manner that he likes to. But MaxPax does have a fourth halfway done. He's going into a Colossus here. Still single Robo Colossus, which is MaxPax's favorite way to play. I do think if he occasionally mixed in a double Robo Colossus, he'd do a bit better. Good pick off there. Byun, if he just built that a tiny bit further back, it would have been much harder to take down. But now, of course, he's in the dark a little bit about what the Protoss player is doing. Second Robo, 5th and 6th gases. All of the tech starting to come down along with a second Forge. Realizing this is going to be a longer game, MaxPax is just going to try and maintain a bit of map control out here. Keep Byun pinned. Byun says, that's fine, dude. I'll just build a 4th command center. I've got ghosts on the way. My tanks are moving forward. And that's going to make it, yeah, that's really good. Because now the tanks are covering most of this area, but they're also covering the bridge. EMP was pretty powerful. He's got to be careful of the Psy Storm, though. With 2 Vikings, if you EMP the Prism, it only has 80 hit points. Each Viking does 2 times 14 damage. So 28 damage times 2, 56. So it takes 2 volleys from the Vikings plus an EMP to kill that Prism. The Prism is very fragile the moment there's even just a couple of Vikings in the mix. And that's why adding Colossus to at least tank some of the damage, getting out to Disruptors, adding more Immortals and ground-based units, gonna all help out. I also think MaxPax would be very good if he could get some Zealot run-bys going. But Byun's got layers of Widow Mines out here that are spotting this. He's got a few Zealots on the right side waiting for it, though, and it looks like they will bypass the Widow Mine position. Second eBay and Armory is a little slow to go down for Byun, so his upgrades are definitely lagging behind. He hasn't even started +1 armor. Feels like MaxPax is actually in control of this game, and for the first time in a while, he's actually got a proper setup going into the latter stages. Great Widow Mine splash there. Oh, Vikings coming forward as well. Oh my god. Okay, great Storm. Really good Storms to zone that army back. After copping those EMPs, he needed something to just keep the Terran back. Needs to give himself a minute to regenerate those shields. You can see they're pretty quick to regenerate. That's the Colossus, for example, that copped a double EMP. But plenty more EMPs where that came from. 5th base is here. SCV's trying to long distance mine over on the 4th base, but Byun actually getting a bit ahead of himself. I don't know where he's mining from 2 separate 4th base locations. Zealots are coming in and having a party on his face, and Byun getting incredibly sloppy. Why were SCVs mining from the right if his command center was going to the left? I do not know, but Byun sometimes does get a bit excited in these latter stages. He likes to be the one who's dictating with that multi-prong aggression and the likes, but hasn't been able to do it in this game. So far, he's killed 6 probes only in the early game. Big Widow Mine on the Zealots. Oh man, how many Vikings are 7 Vikings in the game, but only 5 up front right now. The other Vikings are a bit far back. Watch out. EMPs land, but a big Psy Storm. Another EMP lands. So great spready from Byun. Oh my god. Is he a gymnast or is he a StarCraft player? What the shit did I just see? He was layering his EMPs on the High Templar as they dropped while spreading his bio back. Only copped half a storm. The Widow Mine, this guy did a splendid hit, taking the shields off every single Zealot at the start of the battle. MaxPax takes a horrendous fight and he's like, okay, Disruptors, come on. Need something that's going to be a bit more reliable here. Byun is on point with his micro. Byun's tank wedge is moving around the map here. The Widow Mine does get baited by the Stalkers. Interesting. So those tanks are going to make it very hard. MaxPax using the Stalker there. Friendly fire to kill the Widow Mine since he doesn't have an observer up here. Tanks, they get a shot or 2 off. Not too bad, but I'm a little surprised he didn't put like a tank here and a tank there and then a tank there. Like, you know, just kind of spread the tanks across the 4-base setup. But they are covering most of this choke point nonetheless. A couple of Zealots go down before the fight starts. Watch out for the balls. Byun, big EMPs for Byun. Ooh, good Disruptor though. Wow, that was a lot of infantry going down there. Byun likes to run that ball back and forwards. The big bio ball up against the big balls of the Protoss army. Of course, a 5 Colossus shaft looking very thick for MaxPax right now. Looking ready to fight. He's got, of course, his 3-2 upgrades on the way behind this. Remember, the upgrades suck for Byun. He's only on +1. He was so slow to start +2, +1. Byun should absolutely be turtling right now. He should not be coming out into the open to fight. He doesn't have any artillery behind this. He's in a very dangerous position. He needs to buy time for those upgrades to finish. And I'd like to see him get more Liberators or something like that. Right now, MaxPax getting positioned. The tanks are a little slow to get over here. He's going to lose some of his production. As long as he doesn't die, that should be okay. But, oh, big balls! Big balls! Big balls! Oh, my God! The unit's all choked up in these areas. And MaxPax Disruptor shots absolutely slay. Even though his Colossus get gunned down by EMP Viking, Byun was way too clumped up. No siege units except the tanks, which were only sieging mid-fight. MaxPax accidentally almost hits himself with his own balls, almost sits on his own balls there. And it does look like he's still got a decent enough core of units. Oh, he gets another 13 SCVs on the right side. The Archon Zealot smashing through this comp. And he realizes he's just got the numbers. Byun here. Oh, man. The upgrades were way too late for him. And once MaxPax pinned him back in a bit of a contained area, Storm, Colossus, and Disruptors, an absolute nightmare for Byun. And he does let MaxPax force that 5th game. Well, he drags his way to the 5th game, finally getting to Tropical Sacrifice here. It looks like Data C was probably vetoed, I would imagine, by Byun. It's not a bad map for Protoss, man. Obviously, there are some good tank positions, some good unit positions, but I do think it's a decent map. Psystorm Gaming's MaxPax in the top right. Byun in the bottom left. Representing Shopify Rebellion. I wonder what Byun... Where did Byun lose control of that last game? I mean, if we think about it, it felt like he defended the early aggression pretty well from the proxy gate, stalker attack, and that sort of stuff. Yet despite that, I'm trying to remember where things went wrong for him, and I guess it was when MaxPax caught that double drop moving out the right side. It seems like such a small thing. But Protoss often has these moments in the game where they're quite fragile, and if the Terran kind of out-positions them, they just fall apart and start dying, and it's a slippery slope. But if the Protoss can happen to catch a drop and kill, you know, a few units, catch a medevac, and force him to go back and ball up, and felt like MaxPax got through the scary parts of that game. And even though he couldn't do much with his own attack timings, he was able to add every bit of splash damage. DTs were coming in behind it, all the different pieces. And Byun, on the other hand, it was like he got stuck in two different mindsets. Like, he forgot his upgrades. It was like, hey, are we going for a big push? If so, that's fine. No, we're playing a fast 4th command center. The thing is, a fast 4th command center is meant to go hand in hand with double upgrades. Byun didn't do it in that game. So you've got to question it and say, wait, why was there no double upgrades? Like, what are you doing? And I think it was just a mistake. I think Byun made a mistake in that match. And as a result, he gave a little bit too much room to MaxPax. MaxPax out-upgraded him, out-teched him. The tanks were kind of sticking together a little bit more. Like I said, I would have rathered having those tanks a little bit more spread out. And yeah, he might have been able to zone back the army a little bit. If he was going to play to the late game, maybe go straight for those range liberators. Or maybe just if he's stuck on heavy bio, doesn't have the siege units, maybe he just needed to split up a little bit more with some drops, but gets a bit claustrophobic on inside out. Sometimes you feel like the stalkers and the observers will always spot you moving out. They'll blink on you and gun you down. This is a high ground expand, very safe opening, but no scout. So Byun, of course, gets a bit of extra minerals boost from that. Zealot and the Adept are thinking about coming in together. Another Adept is here as well. Into Twilight Council. MaxPax not playing Stargate a single time in this series. Now, I think that's a strategic error. I really feel the best PvT players are constantly swapping between the two styles in a series, really keeping their opponents guessing on what they're up to. And I don't think you can do anything here. I think pulling back is the right call. Hey, he built his command center on the high ground. He's playing kind of conservative, play safe, but I think, you know, he'd like to get a trade here with the Zealot. Uh-oh, the Adept already takes a lot of damage. The other Adept should have shaded in already. Does get a few hits off here. So some pretty good fancy micro, but if like another Hellion came out right now, I think he could just get overwhelmed. So the numbers change very drastically, right? When these next two Marines pop, really good fight for the Terran. Up to that point, if he was out in the open, not on the ramp, good fight for the Protoss. So MaxPax could have used the Shade to try and pick off these situations a little bit better. He gets the Hellion. Cancel the Shade. Yeah, I mean, a Hellion, obviously bad value trade cost for the Protoss, but you're keeping Byun in the dark. That Hellion was the scouting unit, so at least he has no idea what you're up to. He doesn't know if you're going Stargate or what. And he's going to come out and go for a Marine drop. Like I said, Byun likes to do crazy drops right past the opponent's army. He is the master of just shimmying around the edge of his opponent's vision. It's his favorite thing to do. Doesn't have a Cyclone. Only really has 2 Marines and an Adept here. The Adept sees only 2 Marines. Spidey sense needs to tingle, MaxPax. Yeah, this Marine drop can actually do massive damage. 7 Marines in a medevac. Some of them are bruised. There's only 3 Stalkers at home. That's including this warp in. Already gets 2 probes down. Stalkers are going to do what they can. Marines going after the Stalkers, interestingly. He's not focus firing. Bad micro by Byun there. Took way too long to focus fire. Finally takes out a Stalker. And, oh, he gets another one. MaxPax a little sloppy there as well. Should definitely go after the probes towards the tail end. Does get a decent bit of damage. Meanwhile, the Adept gets in and gets 2 SCVs, so MaxPax always doing some counter aggression. He does shut the drop down. Overall, units lost tab is looking to be in favor of the Terran player. And we've got the Robo Prism Stalker drop build with Blink. It's a 3-gate Blink build into a third base. Okay, so it's kind of a medium-sized pressure. The Raven, though. Oh, man, that Raven is so annoying. The question is, does that mean he's too greedy at home? No, I think this tank is perfectly timed. If he just sieges this tank the moment it pops, he's easily going to block all this pressure. Stim starts up. He's going to have to get his Marines over there. Oh, does cancel the depot at least, so he only loses an SCV so far. But actually, 2 SCVs, 2 depots. Very good value pickups. And as soon as he gets shot by a tank, no doubt MaxPax pulls back and says, no worries. Third Nexus really should be going down right now, but he's going Templar Archives on 2 base. Byun is no third base yet. He sees the Templar Archives. This is so good for Byun. Forces the recall, gets 2 of these probes, 3 of these probes, and he sees that there's no third started, and he's like, oh, you're going to try and get me with like Storm Charge or something, right? So as Byun, if there was ever an indication to tell you to just build a third command center as quickly as possible, even cut some Marines, that's it. Because you're going to get so far. If you just go for a big 3-base play into a giant 3-base push, you will absolutely crush here. He's queuing up tons of SCVs right now. Tank is ready to defend the front. The Stalkers could blink in and dive on it, but the Observers don't actually see all that much. And we're going to see Byun. Looks like he wants to posture out the front. Stim is almost there. Shields hasn't started yet. Stalker's grabbing an SCV, forcing a bit of lost mining time, and picking off 2 Marines. Very good micro for MaxPax, going for that Psy Storm behind it. So 4-gas Psy Storm. He's now probing up because, of course, that delayed third did get spotted. Byun's going to try and push through this. So he says, I'm just going to get you before your Storm's ready, or at least scare you a little bit. Auto turret could come in here. Byun, that looks like an F2, but he's going to drop one. Get 1 or 2 of these long-distance mining probes. Does get 2 of them. Stalker's getting a few more of these Marines. Another 2 Marines go down. Gets a third one, but he does lose a Stalker for that. Stumbling into the hedge a little bit. Third probe goes down as it rallies back into the auto turret. 4 more gateways coming up, but they're not ready just yet. He's only on 3 gates right now. And look at this crazy push for Byun. This is the sort of push that is bananas. If he just blinked his Stalkers on that, I think he might have just killed the entire army. But it's one of these things where he's like, wait, what? Like, huh? If he just actually had a few charge zealots, he'd destroy this army so easily. He should not be losing his third. The problem is there's nothing to Psy Storm. Byun's like, I'm just going to do this crazy small-scale push. Storm doesn't really do anything against this, and I'm going to double drop your main at the same time. This is such a gambly play for Byun. MaxPax could have jumped on this army and cleaned it up already, but he's taking his time to do it. The Stalkers are finally going to go forward, but blocking the Zealots a little bit. Loses a bunch of those Stalkers, and that's a huge problem. Do you know why, guys? It's because there's a double drop in the main. He does have recall. No, he doesn't. Recall's 3 seconds away, and he doesn't have vision of it. Now he sees it, but a little bit too late. He's trying to run his probes out of there. Byun with a crazy move, and Artosis! Artosis! Oh no! Byun retires Artosis from MaxPax's main base. Oh, Storm does land. Does he get the blink on it? But oh, the medevac barely gets out. Saves 2 Marauders and a Marine. I mean, the thing is, he keeps most of his probes alive. It's just that gap in production is scary. However, Byun hasn't really got a follow-up. If these guys were dropping on the south at the same time, I'd be more worried that he could continue this pressure. But instead, an auto turret there. Oh, the battery runs out of energy, so the Stalker does die. That's a little unfortunate for MaxPax. But MaxPax, he's just going for mass gateway. So he's going 9 gate. He's got plenty of energy on these High Templar since there was nothing to really Psy Storm before. He's only used 1 of them. So he'll probably be getting double Psy Storm on those High Templar in the next 20-30 seconds, which means he'll have 5 Psy Storms available. And we've got Ghost Academy on the way, third base. Byun will be in a defensive stance probably for a little bit. Archon Zealot coming in. It looks like MaxPax wants to bust the third base. Lots of SCVs transferring down. He wants to catch those in the open. I like the way Byun's in a very careful setup, though. Can't get caught by a big Psy Storm or 2 could ruin him. Oh my god. He knows Psy Storm's been made. He does know that. He's going to stim forward. But MaxPax wisely pulls back there. Oh, that Widow Mine. Oh, nice old position for a moment. Okay, the Zealot's doing pretty good versus the Marauder heavy army. Oh, that's a lot of SCVs. Oh, that's a lot of SCVs. This is a great pickup for MaxPax. Big Storm on the high ground as well. Does push that army back. He's trying to go for that, but he should chase the SCVs. MaxPax needs to put it back in his pants and go make some forges and a robo. But I don't think he can crack through. Can he? Can he? Oh my god, he's just going to dive. Oh, Big Storm on the right. Byun way too clumped up. Byun has got to put it back in his pants, mate. He's got to put it back in his pants. But he was way too clumped up. There's so many SCVs running around the map. He's trying to do auto turrets on the other side. He loses 10 SCVs. He does kill 5 probes in the midst of that, but another round is coming in, and there's another Side Storm. That was not a good Side Storm, though. And now he's out of Storm Energy, which is a bummer. He's got one that almost has it, but not quite. Byun, he's got to spread these units against the next Storm. Storm's going to be ready in about 10 seconds. The SCVs come back. No, run, boys. Run. MaxPax lets them run past his army. He was looking at home. The auto turret comes in and gets another couple of probes. That Raven, a thorn in MaxPax's side. MaxPax, though, has such a superior income. Like I said, if he can get Forge upgrades, Robos, and Transition, he's already got a Robo. He's already got a Forge. He's got a 4th base. He's actually in a massively powerful position right now. MaxPax hitting a great thing, and once again, Byun's just lack of pre-spreading really biting him in the ass. Don't get me wrong, I see Maru do it. We see the top Terrans do it a lot, not pre-spreading versus Storm and just saying, I'll just start a step out of range of Storm. But when they're fighting in your natural up against a wall in, pre-spread is always the way to go because you know there's nowhere to run. You've got to defend your mineral line. You have to defend your base. You can't just start a step back. So Byun right now, look at his formation. This is so vulnerable to Storm. He should have units spread over here and be utilizing that wall off, but he's not doing it. That is a tactical error. Let's see what he can do. There's still big storms that could come in. That was not a great storm. But he does save the High Templar, does MaxPax. He's going to do another one. Good storm. That was a pretty juicy one. And this is so hard for Byun to move out and take his 3rd. He needs to get that 3rd back up. That High Templar is just juiced to the gills on energy. The Raven comes back in. This battery is working overtime. That Raven is on 15 kills. Ghost's Bio coming in. EMP is landing, but there's still 4 Archons here. And there's still 1 storm left in that. 1 storm! 1 storm to rule them all, perhaps, but no. Byun says nay. He does manage to push through this army and push him back. MaxPax has a huge economy advantage. He definitely should try to save these Archons, but of course he's frantically macroing at home. He saves one of them. The Raven. Can he get the Raven? No, he can't. The Stalkers have to blink back. Byun, he's only on 45 workers. His 3rd base is there. He's transferred SCVs, no doubt, out of his main and his natural. He's dropping Mass Mule, but we've got Colossus on the way. No battery on this 4th. That is a problem for MaxPax, but I don't think Byun even knows that 4th exists. His Raven is somehow still alive on 15 kills. If he could get an anti-armor missile, that'd be big, but not that many Marauders and Marines in here. Here we go. Prism runs in, does cop an EMP, but instantly healed back by the battery. And with overcharge available as well, it feels like Byun has to play the long game, but he's not building SCVs. He's on pure army production. He is saying, no, I've taken too much damage. I've got to just go pure army and try to kill you. MaxPax with a lot of Zealot, Archon, and a Colossus. That Widowmine gets a good hit on the Zealots, and that makes MaxPax think twice. He pulls back for now, but overall, it's looking good for him. 2 Vikings and a Raven head south. They know about the Warp Prism. They're tracking onto it. The Warp Prism gets ahead of them, but not for long. It's not long for this world. The Viking Raven will hunt it down, no doubt. Good chase by Byun. Meanwhile, MaxPax posturing forward on the map. He's defended his 4 base. He's got a 5th base, a 2nd Robo. MaxPax here getting out of trouble in this series. He's getting ahead. He's pulling far ahead. Byun is still not building SCVs. Byun is as all in as he could possibly be. The Warp Prism even gets saved by the recall. He builds a 4th command center. That is at odds with everything else he's doing right now. A sensor tower and a 4th command center, but he's not building SCVs, I guess because his main and natural are already mined out. He needs a new command center just to have somewhere to mine from, and that is never a good feeling for the Terran player. Oh man, having to take a 4th while essentially being all in on 52 workers. It's a nasty low economy position against a Protoss that's adding all of the tools. Marine Lord right now is vomiting on himself somewhere while playing with stupid elephants. 2nd Forge finishes up for MaxPax. MaxPax has all the little pieces. He's got the Medevac almost getting sniped. Widowmine does go down on the south side. Zealot's going after the sensor tower. He's going to snipe that one down. Does pull back. Byun, come on, mate. I still think he's got a big Bio Ghost army. He's got 1/1 upgrades versus just +1, soon to be +2. The upgrades aren't too bad, but uh-oh. This is the sort of move where MaxPax, if MaxPax can just trade in these messy situations with him and create nice, favorable engagements, that could be good. Anti-armor missile is going to be scary. Oh my god. Oh man, that's a big anti-armor missile. Ow, 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 ow. The Zealots in the main get cleaned up as well. Oh no. MaxPax may have gone too deep into the Terran territory, but wait, he's got another Zealot run by on the south, 5 more SCVs going down. That being said, it's all about the fight. It's all about the battle more than anything. A Disruptor stumbles in, and MaxPax does get a swift kick to the nuts from Byun. Meanwhile, those Zealots, though, tearing it up. Byun tries to lift down here, but his guys aren't defending the base. The Viking goes down! The Colossus survives on just 2 hit points. A bunch of medevacs get sniped out, and the Prism, thinking about coming back into that main base as well, does fly through the turret. Unfortunate misclick there for MaxPax, but these Zealots just will not go down. Byun, oh man, if he handled those Zealots just a little bit better, that might have been a turning point. But with a fifth Nexus up, Byun is at half the workers. It's a terrible spot. The upgrades have now tied up, and they're going to be outclassing the Terran in the near future. Not many medevacs left. A big Zealots around. So many Marauders caught out. And don't forget, MaxPax now has got those big balls loaded up. That Colossus finally goes down. But MaxPax, he's got more Stalkers, more Zealots, more Disruptors building out of his double Robo. And a very, very good push for him with the Psystorms. The Zealot Psystorm push is one of the scariest pushes. When there's a really competent Protoss that does it, it is so powerful. We saw Trap take out Maru so many times with that exact same push that MaxPax denied the third of Byun with in this game. And if it happens to Maru, we can't really shame Byun for it happening to him as well. Even when it looks like you have the numbers, especially if you don't quite have the Ghosts, it's so hard to defend. The Disruptor's zoning his army back. Good dodges by Byun, but those balls are now empty. And MaxPax says, just give me a minute, please. He will recharge very soon. Zealots run in. Planetary says no. Byun's still got a scary army. Ooh, good pullback at the last second. Well done. It was a sneaky ball there. Of course, MaxPax, like the young lads, does get into some of those TikTok crazes, sneaky nuts. One of the less desirable ones of those that will get your account banned, but does try to throw it out because Byun just doesn't have that much map vision, so sneaky nuts is always one that could catch him off guard. Here we go, though. He's watching this time. Great spread. Doesn't take a single hit from these first 2 Disruptors. The thing is, he's pinned back, and he doesn't even have that much healing left on the medevacs. And look at the way the Disruptors are getting space. They take out the Widow Mine, accidental pickup on a few of these units. The army quality is still pretty good for Byun, but with the upgrades getting closer and closer to just pulling way ahead with 88 probes, MaxPax is like any trade's a good trade. You know, I'm just forcing permanent stims. I'm dodging EMPs. MaxPax realizing he has the numbers advantage, and he's like, cool, free Widow Mine. Oh, cool, making your army stem. And, you know, you can dodge all day until the moment where you don't. A Ghost goes down as well as some Marines. MaxPax has him pinned down. Byun is like, I won't tap. I won't tap. MaxPax, though, has got his literally got his arms wrapped up like a pretzel, his legs behind his head. He's leaning on him, and he's like, dude, I don't want to break your arm, but I might have to. Byun just massively outnumbered. Balls come flying from every single direction. Way too many Zealots. And MaxPax turning that series around with some excellent Psystorm play. 2-base Psystorm, a very kind of unique build. I really did think that Byun did something weird this game, because remember, we scouted it with the Raven, and I was like, oh, cool. Like, that is all you need to know to say drop a third and turtle. He tried a very interesting response to it, and this is something which Cure used to do against Zest, because Zest had a phase where he was rushing Psystorm every game. And you see, so this is the point where he sees, oh, you're rushing Storm, your third's really late. So Byun processes that. And I remember, because Psystorm players are usually so low on units until Storm kicks in, and then they suddenly warp in 2 rounds of Zealots. They have 3 High Templar and the Prism. Their army is so much stronger. Cure vs. Zest started doing this really creative pushes where he would push well before Stim was done. He'd just shove out with a random number of units, and MaxPax would be like, what? Or in that case, Zest. And they'd be like, hey, you're not ready to push yet. What the hell? Like, you can't push without Stim and shields and medevacs. And the thing is, because it's an inefficient push-out timing, this army is total arse. It really is a terrible army. But it kind of works because it catches the Protoss off guard. Hats off to MaxPax, though, because even though he was losing probes to the Raven, he picked off a lot of Marines on the way across the map. And I actually thought he could have jumped on this and maybe killed the whole army. And that's probably why I would question the move in general for Byun. But it's also part of what made it work was the fact that this was such an unexpected push. It really did kind of slow MaxPax down and surprise him a little bit. Overall, all it killed was a few Stalkers, right? It kills like 4 or 5 Stalkers at most. Very inefficient trade, but it opened up the opportunity for this, which is where the real damage got done. Depowering the gates, getting 4 probes, trading on a Stalker or 2. Overall, though, MaxPax handled it. And you could argue that he was a bit ahead from here because that third CC, which I thought was immediately going to be the response, was much later for Byun. So Byun went for a I'm going to punish you Storm player with some nice multi-prong aggression, a surprise push into that. And it looks like MaxPax, I think, got good enough trades there. So, yeah. One last thing before we do go. And by the way, guys, thanks for watching. And hope you've been enjoying the games. Trying to get the best quality games for you guys. So lots more ones coming. But I want to check that big Storm push because I do feel like he did stay a bit too clumped there a few times. Now, let's take a look at it. So that Storm, not bad. But here, notice this army's way too clumped on the south. And he also spread towards the High Templar. I think he needed to spread a much bigger chunk of his army up to the left to create a proper firing arc. And some of these units should have been spread down to the left behind the bunker. I think this was a huge mistake right here. That Storm is devastating. And he loses most of his Marines. His medevacs get super damaged. And that was a big turning point. And you can see, because he was clumped up so much, he has to keep spreading during the battle rather than just spreading really well initially. And, yeah. Damn. GG, well played, though. Really great control. He took a 4th behind it. And even though this Raven was the GOAT for Byun, it just wasn't enough to keep up with a Protoss probing up 4 bases, adding forges, adding tech. Really well played by MaxPax to bring it back in this series. I questioned his map choices. I think I'll ask him about that and see what he says, because I'm really curious why he picked the maps he did. But in the end of the day, doesn't matter. He gets the 3-2. GG, well played.